chance.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Shut Up Take Tuesdays. Shut Up Take Tuesdays. Hey, I'm gonna have a whole little band and the words and everything one day, and for a whole 30, maybe 15 to 30 seconds, we're gonna be jamming, just saying Shut Up Take Tuesdays. Okay, I'm just telling you, just be prepared for it. Okay, be prepared, be ready, be ready. But anyway, welcome to Shut Up Take Tuesdays. I'm so happy that you are here with another segment with us. Yes, I'm rubbing my hands because I had put some lotion on. It might have been a little ashy right there. But anyways, I'm good now. But I'm happy that you are here with us on this wonderful Tuesday. It's the last Tuesday in January. January is gone by in 2025 already. And so we're going to roll right on into February, which is an important month for a lot of us. So I know you're wondering, like, what's the resource for today? Because you don't see it on the post. Like, what's the resource? Well, the resource for today's segment is the special guest. And it's all about shelter. Now, we talk about this a lot. And I'm going to say, you guys share things on your social media. You may know people that are unhoused or homeless, whatever words that you may use, but we try to use more friendly words. But you may know someone that needs some shelter. So if you need some shelter, how are you going to find it? We got that question, that answer coming for you in just a minute. So without further ado, let me bring in my special guest. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes, welcome to Shorty Tuesdays. We're so happy to have you on here to share all of your wonderful resources that you have, especially for the great state of Oklahoma. So welcome, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Absolutely. I like the intro, the little Share the Tea Tuesday. So I'm with you on the band. I'm
Oh,
I'm digging that.
see, it's catchy, isn't it? I know.
Yeah.
Gotta work on it. I gotta work on it. I'm gonna figure it out some kind of way.
All right.
So, Robert, where are you from? Are you originally from Oklahoma?
Yes, I was born in Oklahoma City. I was raised
Okay.
in Bryan College Station, Texas, and then just been living here ever since. So I'm an Oklahoman by heart, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good because Oklahoma and Texas, they got this rival thing that they always doing. But I'm gonna say this little piece, and I'll probably get kicked out of Oklahoma. Even though they have this rival, Oklahoma is always wanting to do what Texas is doing. Hmm.
I
Interesting.
mean, they kind of intertwine. I don't disagree. Even though I grew up in like Aggie land, it's still Longhorns and OU here. But yeah, they do kind of follow suit. I agree.
Yes, they do. They do. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. So tell us about shelter sharing. I know that's almost a tongue twister, but tell us about that because you are the owner, CEO of this organization. And so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Shelter Share was basically a concept I kind of came up with in 2015. Experienced some issues with tornadoes, and I would say this is the second version of the app. So literally the first version was just to help people find storm shelters before severe weather, trying to solve the problem here in Oklahoma. But trying to do that and wanting to scale and stuff like that, we noticed that we needed the storm to hit the city, and that was the only way for me to prove concept. So I took a pivot about a year or so ago, and now we help, like you say, the homeless or unhoused, and it's not just shelter. So they can find day shelters, night shelters, but they can also find clothing closets, soup kitchens, and just any resource that helps anyone that's in need of anything like that.
Okay, I like this. So this concept started back in, you said 2000 and
In
in
15,
15. Okay. So was there something that just sparked the interest? Were you in a tornado at that time? Because I know tornadoes come around quite frequently.
yeah. Absolutely, and that's exactly what happened. We was experiencing a tornado at that time, and I didn't have anywhere to go, and was really looking because that was probably the one of the only few times I lived in Oklahoma where it kind of spooked me. But googling and looking was like, man, there's no public shelters. This is kind of crazy, knowing that this stuff happens all the time, and just kind of sat on the idea. It was in my head. I was like, man, it'd really be cool to just help people find shelters and things of that nature. So, like I say, I thought of it in 2015, but it didn't really come to life until about 2021.
Oh, okay. 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 Now let's talk a little bit about the storm shelters, if you don't
Okay.
mind. 'Cause, and I'll share a little secret with you. When I was younger, my sibling, well, mainly my brother, because my sister she wasn't trying to play those games. But my brother and I, we would go outside when we hear that, oh, it's a tornado coming. We want to try to see it, so we were kind of like kids storm chasers, but right there at the house. We weren't going anywhere.
Right.
But just to be able to see the nature and its beauty, even though it is terrifying, um, it's like uh, well, it can be terrifying when it comes close to your house. Now, we've never
Hmm.
experienced it where it came close to my house when I was younger, but as an adult, it has been very close. And just being able to knowing when or where to go to take shelter. But I recall we used to have public shelters, and I want to say it was either schools or libraries. It was some type of public place that we would be able to go in Midwest. I'm gonna say in Midwest City
Oh,
area.
okay. I do
Um,
remember on the north side there was one. I'm sorry. It was Quail Springs Mall. They used to open up, I want to say Dillard's, and they would let people go downstairs in the basement. But I think it started kind of being a liability thing, and that's why they kind of stopped doing it.
oh, okay. So that was my next question. Like, why did they stop with the public shelters? Because that was really a good resource, especially if you're out and you're away from the house and you're like, oh, well, I know this place has a shelter. Let me try to take cover here.
Hmm.
So it was more of a liability issue. Okay. Well, I
Yeah, it was
can.
more of a liability issue. The city, the state don't want to take on that. Say if it do hit, then if it was 30 people in there, are going to be trying to
Mhm.
do that. So there is some shelters, like some of the churches, some of the schools, and more. Like they have shelters, and I ain't gonna say they don't open them up to the public, but let's just say if school is going on or something like that, they're going to obviously offer some to the faculty and the staff and the students. But on an off day, sometimes they do open them up, but they're really going to open them up for the people that either, are still students of that school. They'll let the families and stuff like that come in. They generally just don't open it up.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's not for everybody, but
There you
just
go.
okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense. I know times have changed because we're not back in the 80s or 90s, where
There you
things are
go.
just open. So we have having to adjust with the time is a issue. So can you tell me about your experience with the tornado? Were you by yourself, or were you have your family with you, or like how was that experience in trying to find somewhere to go?
It's pretty terrifying. I was with my family. My daughter, my youngest daughter, was just born, and I was literally holding her at this time. So, it's kind of terrifying as a dad. But like, I can't even protect her, even if I, cover her, and it hits this building. I have to, worry about those things. So, it was just one of those things, and it really just kind of drove me. And I was just like, if I feel this way, I know that there's other people that feel the exact same way. Like, where do we go? What do we do in this situation? And that really just kind of spearheaded the whole thing at that point in time.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I'm so happy that you were safe all these many years later, because that will definitely take a toll, but it provided the insight and the entrepreneurship
Absolutely.
of creating Shelter Share. So when you first started with the idea, it was an idea, but in 2022, is that when you made it into an actual app?
Yeah, that's when I built the first app, and I did that by going through like some accelerator programs, and like I say, just sitting on the idea. I had thought it out and everything, but like, oh, it'd be cool, if people could do this, and didn't know what those type of programs was, and kind of came across one on a Google search, and got accepted. They gave us a $5,000 Pebble grant to start it, and that's how I built the first version of the app. And at that point, it was off to the races.
Okay, good. So that's good that somebody was listening. Sometimes we say they're listening on our phones and it popped up on Google for you. Well,
Thank
that's a good
God.
thing that that it popped up. So with that accelerator program, can you explain to us what is that or what? Because some people don't know what those programs are.
Yeah, accelerator programs. I mean, I name drop. So like, just to the ones that I like. So builders and backers. There's G Beta or Generator. Those are like locally here in Oklahoma City. Startup OU and OMFA. So I'm gonna have to say them all because I was being in them all. But these programs essentially help you either validate your idea or whatever it may be, or your product. It helps you do customer discovery. It helps you do product market fit. It helps you structure a business in ways that you don't do, basically taking your hustle and turn it in, structuring it and putting it into a business. Because I know a lot of people just sell t-shirts or whatever, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but let's put it in a way so you can find the right people so you can sell enough t-shirts, right? So
Mm.
I recommend accelerator programs to anybody. Again, those were my crash course college courses. I went through them and they taught me how to put stuff together. They taught me how to, gave me network. And you can probably ask any one of them. Like I'm just in there, and I believe that I just belong there now.
Okay, well that's good, and sharing information with people, because
Absolutely.
you never know, somebody else may have an idea that they're sitting on and not for sure where to go or how to get it off the ground. So that's cool. That's cool. So what type of like, do we need to have some type of special device for your app? I mean, is it Team Apple or Team Android? Is it that type of app or what do we need?
It's on both platforms. It's on Apple and Android. So like I say, I had two versions. So one of them will say Shelter Share, but the new version says Shelter Share app. Download the Shelter Share app. That's kind of two words, but download that one. And no, you can get access to it. You can just sign into it. Either with your email or a Google account or Facebook. And basically, everything is based off of your location. So wherever your location is going to bring you the nearest resources based off of your location.
Based off your location. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, I know you said you have two versions. So are you still using the other one? Or are
No,
you okay?
it'll expire out of the app stores. Currently, I'm just using the second version.
Oh, okay. 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 So we'll just use that one. So have you kind of combined them together to where with the app part you can put in the tornado shelter resources or any kind of resources, or do you just kind of leave this one a whole lot different?
This one is a little different. This one, we will start to incorporate the tornado shelters and stuff around. But this version is more so of helping people just like find the resources. And I say unhoused, but not really. Like everybody could use, a food basket or, where the nearest food pantry is or something like that. But specifically when we go out and volunteer, because we go out pretty much every Sunday and serve meals, and usually we try to do that with an Assist Wireless rep. So we have an Assist Wireless person come out with us, and then I just tell them to download the Shelter Share app, because most of these people are transient, or they've been, you know, gotten here by however they got here, and they may be going to another location. So the good thing is it works outside of Oklahoma. It works nationwide. So even if someone was to get transplanted somewhere else, they will still be able to find those things, based off of their location.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's cool. So it's not just for Oklahoma.
No, it's not just for Oklahoma, and that's the thing, to be able to scale. I want to serve Oklahoma. This is ground zero, but I want to be able to serve everybody.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to use it next time I go go home. I'm gonna have to use that. So if you guys haven't downloaded the app, I already have mine over. I already
Yeah.
have mine on here, guys. So make sure you go to the app and just sign up. You can find different resources and things that are out here. I think this is also very useful for people that work in any type of public health field where you're a caseworker, social worker. Do you ever find that people come to you for resources or that work in that area?
Yeah, so like I said, I've been doing this now for 3 years. So, being able to go present, and I'm actually having some conversations with those people on Friday and next Monday. So yes, they are starting to come around now. It's been a labor of love and passion. You get in there, you tell them, and it sounds great, and everybody thinks it's great, but you still have to prove it. But I think people are starting to come around. I will say, we did just get a partnership with Rose State College. So, yeah, thank you. We'll be a resource for them, and hopefully, we'll show up on some billboards and things of that nature to encourage people to download the app, because that's really where we're at. And then on the other side, we'll go back to places like the Homeless Alliance and City Care and work with some of these organizations and say, hey, we want to help you reach the end user, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. There's a disconnect between the providers and the users. The users are not on social media. The user are not really going to Google anything for the most part. They want things right there. They want it right now. Like I say, somebody might have just either been recently incarcerated, or, I have tons of stories from, what they tell us, but, just being able to be transplanted, boom, I'm right down in downtown Oklahoma City. I need to find something. I don't know where to start. So this has allowed them to give them a starting point, but we still need those DHS and things of those natures to really come work with us, because I think it would really do everybody some good.
Okay. Okay. Now you mentioned earlier about food pantries, and I know some churches have food pantries at different um days of the week and all those different things. And so so if I'm in downtown Oklahoma City and I need a food pantry, it'll just pick up where I will ping off of my device, and it'll show me where the nearest pantry is or what day or times that they're open, right?
Let me say this. So two things. One, we are not a nonprofit. We are a for-profit business, because besides the app, we offer software. So essentially, we're a software company, and our app allows us to work, allow the users to work with the software. So to answer your question, yes, those pantries that are there and have been there, and let's say they're already registered on, like, with Google and stuff like that. So our algorithm will just pick up, those from SEO, the search engine, if they have shelter, keywords, things of that nature. Uh, because we are for a profit, let's just say, the mom and pop nonprofit, or a church or something that has it, they can be on the app, but there is a charge for that, but they can put them on the app. We can raise money for them through the app. We can sign up volunteers for them through the app. So we like to use it as a fundraising tool, and that's really kind of what I'm doing right now. So I mean, I say that if there is a food pantry or something of that nature that want to help raise money, we should partner together. We'll help you raise money by helping people download the app. We'll make you a banner inside the app where people can go in and say, "Hey, we're serving, XYZ nonprofit today." People can volunteer, and people can also donate through the app.
Oh, wow. Okay, that you took this to a whole nother level. I like
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you said we're not just gonna show you where to go, but it's more so of making that connection because bridging the gap.
yeah.
Sometimes there's gaps in services or in resources, and at times we think a resource is there, and then we find out it may no longer be there.
Hmm.
And so that is something that counts to help it keep it more accurate. I use that lack of I mean that word. So let me ask you another question, if we're able to explore that a little bit. So if someone wants to share with you like resources that are out there, is there a collaboration type piece there, or is it more of a I guess would that be a partnership, or how would that work?
Yeah, there's partnership. We can do partnerships. like I said, I would rather like do like a fundraiser. So you come in, we'll make you a banner in the app, and we'll fundraise for you. And like I said, because we're for profit, and maybe your organization can't flat out pay for our software portion of it, we can donate. We can raise money on your behalf, and just basically it'd be like a Kickstart or something. We'll just keep a portion of it, and that's how we update and maintenance the app and things of that way. That allows I say the smaller organizations to be able to get exposure because there are some larger organizations because they get funding from all these great donors and things like that, but there are some other smaller organizations that are serving people, and one, they just out there in the community serving, they're just doing their thing, they're not really just advertising and things like that, but they also have a following, so we want to be able to help them to either grow their following and grow their fundraising as well, also while partnering with us. That allows us to get downloads. That way we're still telling the community, hey, you can still find these resources. So I try to make it a win-win for everybody. If someone can't just flat out say, hey, here's the money that you charge to be a sponsored ad on your service.
Okay, okay, okay. I got you now. So then, is there a time limit on the fundraising opponent for the other person? For instance, like if I'm doing a fundraiser, can it be for the year of 2025, or does it have to stop at like 2 or 3 months or something?
No, we can do it for the whole year. As long as people
Okay.
are donating through there, we can set it up and we can donate for the whole year, however we want to do it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Because when you're a small business, and I try not to say
Mhm.
small twice, because some people say, "Oh, you're a small business." Okay, so if you can give $1,000 or 300 here, and and you're like, well, wait a minute. When we say small business, we're not even on that level. So I think it needs to be
Another
another
term for it.
term, yes, and I don't wanna say small, small, but usually I'm like, "Ah, geez, it adds up. It adds up
Yeah.
when you're trying to do so many different things and support and all that." So, but I like that you're able to make it to where it's a fundraiser and you're paying off on the service with, getting exposure and all those different things too. I like that. I definitely like that. Okay.
Yeah. The more you tell your people to download it and donate, the more it helps us all.
Right, definitely. It's
Mhm.
everybody wins, right?
That's right.
Everybody wins. So how did it take you to design this app? I mean, are you tech savvy? You kind of like what I'm trying to think of the people who Mark,
No,
what's
I'm
his
not
name?
a software
Mark.
developer.
Yes.
N- No, I will say again, thankful for those accelerator programs. I would say my skill set is I'm very resourceful. So my background is supply chain and hospitality. So I'm good at talking to people, and then I'm resourceful because I'm always having to find supplies. So to answer your question, no. Shout out to Green Country Media. Uh, they are a great software development company. They helped me out tremendously. We met in one of those accelerator programs. I told them what I was doing, and they literally just believed in me. Like, and I paid them a portion for the app, but they are backing me 100%. They just said, Robert, go out and sell. Go out and do what you have to do, and we'll build it. So, I'm really appreciative of them,
Oh, I like that. And they're based in Oklahoma?
and they're in Oklahoma City. Yeah,
Okay. I like that. Listen, they can always say that Oklahoma is small. It is not. We got all
no,
kinds of things.
yeah, it's all kind of talent and all kind of stuff going on here, and people really need to just tap in and understand that it's business is being created here. And for again, like I like to just a resource. Here's the shelter share in me, like. For those who are that want to start businesses, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be tech. There are these programs and there are organizations, there are groups of people out here that want to help people do that. So, even though I know you have an event coming up, a networking event. People really need to attend these events because that's really how I got it. Like I didn't go to college. So all of this stuff that I'm telling you and I'm being resourceful is because I just got out there and started talking to people and making connections.
Absolutely, absolutely. The power of connections. If people would just understand, if you just open your mouth and talk, don't be afraid.
That's right.
Um, don't be nervous. I'm a talker, you can tell, of course. But I have two young ladies that have recently started their businesses, and they've asked me for help. And
Okay.
so I give them any and everything that I have or that I come across, what I've learned in the last 4 years. and just being able to connect them where they need to go, because it can be very overwhelming.
Hmm.
But we have to be able to help each other. Like how else are we going to be able to survive and make it if we don't take the time to help each other. So kudos to you, and I appreciate you being transparent and sharing your story of
Absolutely.
what definitely has happened and where you're going from here with this. So so besides this shelter app, do you have something else that you're doing on the side as far as that's keeping look at you, see, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're like, where's
What
my
happens?
side?
What yeah, like for real. What happens is you go into something and you're trying to solve one problem, and I'm like, oh, I want to help, the homeless and unhoused, and people with low income to be able to, prosper. So then that comes into affordable housing. So now now we get into real estate. So yes, we do co-living spaces and stuff like that. I also do speaking engagements because, again, I believe in giving the information back for free. It was given to me for free. I didn't pay for it. So yeah, we do a little real estate. We do a little speaking engagements. We do all kind of stuff. Like I mean, yeah, where do I start?
Right, like you name it, I'm probably doing it, right?
I'm probably doing it. Yes, absolutely.
Now, you said the name of it is, did you say Code or Code Living Spaces?
Co-living spaces. So
Oh,
essentially, what we do is a lot of these organizations, and they're either housing veterans, or they're housing seniors, or they're housing disabled people, but these people have, either on a fixed income, so they can't always afford a home on their own, or they may sometimes have landlord issues, or whatever the case may be. They may even have background issues. So we come in and we find properties, and then we go back to those organizations and say, hey, we have space for 3 people, and then we will just basically, essentially just renting out each bedroom is what ended up happening. So that allows everybody to have affordable space, and then we just provide everything for them in the houses. So they're fully furnished,
oh,
everything. They just pay a one flat rate per bedroom.
that now, if that's not genius, I absolutely love that, because well, of course, trying to buy a home or renting a home, it's expensive.
Hmm.
Water, gas, electric, all of that. And then trying to have food and all those different things. So that can be quite costly. So do you so when you say they rent each room, do you try to make it as like a family unit, or do they typically don't know each other?
They typically don't know each other, so we can do single family homes if an organization has a single family that they're trying to find housing for. Yes, typically what happens is either it's an all male house or it's an all female house. We definitely don't mix. But
Okay.
yeah, they'll just be individuals on their own. They typically don't know each other.
Okay. Okay. Now, is there a waiting list for this service?
Yes and no. The waiting list is how fast can we find houses, and that's where the problem comes in. So all you realtors out there listening, like, hey, if you have houses, like, please send them to us. I work with a great investment group in Texas. Like, they're looking to purchase homes, and we can get that done. The problem is, like I say, always finding
Um,
houses with motivated sellers. It's always that back and forth, and I understand it, but yeah.
okay. So if someone wants to sell, well, hold on, I got two questions. I don't know which one
Okay.
I should ask first. So when you're renting out the homes or the rooms, is that does that mean that property has to be commercial, or is it okay if it's residential?
It's okay if it's residential.
Okay.
It just be in select areas. You just make sure that there's no homeowners associations that oppose to it, and then you can be selective in kind of the neighborhoods you go, because not only do we do it for like unhoused and maybe low income or whatever. There's also a market for it for I'm giving up the sauce right now. It's also a
Uh-oh.
market for it for like travel nurses and remote workers, people who do contracts to come in here. So they finna get ready to build that Thunder Arena. Well, all those people are not going to be from these are going to be steel workers and welders that they're going to contract, and they're going to bring them in. Well, those people are going to need places to stay, and they're probably going to be here for 2 years. So things like that.
Right. Okay. And so now I'm not trying to throw shade because I've only
Yeah,
stayed in one, but those Airbnb,
Airbnbs.
yes. So this is not related to that. This is totally separate because you said they pay a per room, not per the house, right?
Yeah, and they Airbnbs are considered like short-term rentals. They consider this market mid-term rentals because most of these people, when they're on the contracts, they're here 3 to 6 months. So like the travel nurses usually are in town for like 3 months or 6 months. So they'll sign for 3 months because they just want a place to stay. They usually work in 12 or 18-hour shifts, and they know they're going to be in the house with like two other nurses. I'm not going to put two other nurses or a nurse in there with a random or something like that. It's usually the house is cohesive with who's already in the house or how we need to house the house, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. I like that. Now is this a service that they can sign up for through your shelter share, or is this something that they reach out to you personally about?
This is something uh, I do on the side, but this was to fund the dream. So you go over here and you do real estate and you start generating income, and this allows me to fund and help build the app. But we are working on some other stuff, so it will be so people who have vouchers and serving that same market, we will be able to put those homes on there. So it'll be essentially like a Zillow search, but it'll be specifically for those landlords that accept housing vouchers or low income or co-living spaces and things like that. That stuff is coming, but we have to fund the dream, so the real estate funds the
Okay.
dream.
Okay. Okay. I'm moving too fast. I got you.
No,
Okay.
no, yeah, no, I love it though. But that's part of being creative and being an entrepreneur. I don't have just millions of dollars to go build the app, but again, being resourceful. Found some people who believe in, hey, I want to house these people. They're like, okay, we believe in you. You do that, and I'm like, well, the extra income that I get from that, I can continue to build out the app to continue to serve.
Sir, I like that. I like that. Now, what's the typical turnaround time for them to find housing? So it's the end of the month. Let's say I'm gonna move here. I'm coming in on Friday and I'm trying to find a place. Is the turnaround time pretty quick, or do I need to give you some like I'll be here in March. Do you need 30 days or so to kind of find a
Well,
home?
we can kind of do that two ways.
Okay.
If you're just a specific renter, and you like, I'm having a hard time finding a house, and this is what I can look for, then we offer a service where, well, it's kind of like car finders. We'll go find you the house and set up the payment for you to do that. But typically, it's however fast that we can find the home. So the faster that I can invest in more properties and things of that nature. No, it's a line out the door to get these rooms or to get these houses. Like everybody wants to do it because once you go reach in with those certain organizations, they have people out the door, ready to move in. But again, it's finding the houses or working with landlords that want to be able to do that. Not just myself, but just landlords in general that want to be able to, deal with that clientele.
Okay, okay. And one other question. They
Mhm.
would pay the rent to you or to the
No,
investment people? To you.
to me, to me.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. That's what I thought. And is this a per month? Because when they're staying there, this is per month, not like no
Yeah, this
hotel.
this is per month on the co-living spaces. It is per month because income change or something happens or maybe they get moved or so it's on the per month basis and we don't try to hold nobody hostage or make them sign. But most of the
Right.
time on the nurses and the remote workers, they usually will sign 3 to 6 months as long as their contract is going.
It's going. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. I like that. I know I'm digging deep within
No, I
those.
love it.
But to be honest, I've never heard of it before. So
Yeah.
I'm just just curious on how that worked. And I've always had a passion for creating a space for individuals that are not able to afford um the regular rent of just
Hmm.
and I'll even speak to individuals that have a disability. So if I'm only getting 940 some dollars a month from Social Security or whatever, that's not going to be enough for me to live in my apartment where
That's right.
the rent is $800 or $900. That eats up that automatically, and then you don't even have enough for electricity and food and all those things. And so I don't think people necessarily I don't think the landlords necessarily think about that. But I know for Oklahoma City, there are working to make more things a little bit more affordable and
Hmm.
having certain units where it's geared towards that particular population that, hey, if I need to have my rent, a lot more affordable because of my budget, then we're able to work out something and to do something. I think that it's hopeful. I mean, it's a start, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere, and it's a lot of rental assistance programs around here. Again, I'm trying to bring that to the forefront so people can find that, because I see it in, Facebook groups, people asking for resources. But the co-living
Yes.
space is something that's kind of taken off because rent is going up so high. So, it is mostly on the coast, the east and west coast, but it is showing that it's starting to filter towards the Midwest because everything is going up so high. So, I don't know what the next generation, but the smarter people, the tech people, they'd rather rent and live in co-working spaces than have to rent out an entire apartment or an entire house. So it's
Mhm.
something that's kind of trending, that's just kind of keeping an eye on.
Okay, I like that. And you said it's fully furnished.
Yeah, they come. Everything is just basically move in ready, so they don't have to do anything.
I like that. I like that. Okay, listen, I'm gonna have you on speed dial, right? I'm
I
like,
know
hey,
it.
hey,
We
Robert, I
need
have
houses.
a question. Right. I need some help. Okay, so this is really neat. I want to ask, oh, I must have put all of my information in the app. I see, I don't even remember. I don't remember when I did it, but I did it because it's all in here. I was gonna say, tell me the top things that are in the app. So I know it's shelter as far as housing, but you said food pantries, and then what was the other one?
Clothing closets.
Closing costs. Okay.
Mm-hmm. and
Okay.
those and those things, so like again, anybody that's just already currently like operating, or like I say, have a Google space, it'll just pull them. Those all the things that you haven't seen on there, people haven't paid for that. Those are just organically pulling, like a typical Google search, more or less. But it's those other ones that'll just pop up that we can, that we really trying to help as well.
Okay. Okay. So if I um do the fundraising idea you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a I'm gonna say I have a resource for support groups for Alzheimer's or something like that for dementia
Hmm.
caregivers. So would that be an option to list in the
Yep.
app?
We could
Okay.
we could leave it listed in there, and then, like I said, we would just try to find those organizations that deal with that market. So senior citizens, so we encourage them to download the app. That way, they just have it as a resource, and then, like I said, we just have them fundraise through the app, and we would just raise
Okay.
money for your organization. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, have you not? Well, I don't know. Do you tap into farmers market?
I have not. I'm.
Okay.
What does the farmers market do?
Okay. Listen. I'm over here thinking too much. Sometimes my friends tell me you have a whole conversation in your brain before you have it out with everybody else. Anyways, they're gonna probably talk about me later because I'm telling. But anyways,
I do the same thing, so I feel you.
hey friends, thank you,
There
Robert.
you go. I done already thought it out, talked it out, everything. Yep.
Right. Thank you. Like I'm trying to do better. Okay. Work with me. So with the farmers market, I'm a recruiter for the Seniors Farmers Market Nutrition Program. And so
Okay.
it focuses on seniors to get them access to farmers market that are located near them. And so there's quite a few farmers markets in the state of Oklahoma.
Okay.
And, as you get further out, it gets a little bit smaller. But it depending on what their income is, the income for last year was $2,332. And so if they made that, and this is for one person, per month, they could sign up for that program and get a $50 EBT card, and they could
Okay.
go shopping at the farmers market to buy herbs, fruits
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
vegetables, whatever that they have there. But it does have to be food though. It can't be clothes and all those other things.
Okay.
So I was just thinking about that because a lot of people are not familiar with this program. Our goal last year was to reach 4,000 seniors, and we did. And so I
Okay.
know for this coming year, we're going to probably try to exceed past that because we did end up having like a little waiting list for them to sign up on. But that's the population that is often forgotten
Like
about.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're a senior. Oh, you got everything. You're retired. Oh, go over there. But they still have a lot of life and things that they would like to do, and to be able to get out and do those things and explore farmers market because
Yeah, absolutely.
Oklahoma has tons of farmers that are needing help. So that's pretty much what they do when I talk about farmers market. That's what I mean in that scale. So maybe that's something we can. I don't know, because I know that's not really necessarily
No, but
shelter.
it's still a resource, and I have to say that it is. I know the name says Shelter Share, and I don't want to rebrand because that's kind of what I started with.
Um,
and
right.
and I'm not saying that to you, but I get that all the time. Like, but it is shelter, but it is so much more. So much. It's just resources in general. So I'm working on that. How to market that and say it's not just. But yeah, of course, I'm always open to that. I think that's a great idea. And not only that, I know it's not just Oklahoma. I know or Oklahoma City like Metro. I know these rural areas have these same
Yes.
ideas. So, uh, yeah, I would love to explore something like that.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll talk. We'll talk.
All
I'll
right.
I'll I'll, I'll connect you because I have plenty of people to connect you with and get that information out to you. But I think this is really, really a wonderful idea. I'm happy that you had that light bulb moment back in 2015. But just being able to move forward and just say, hey, I want to make this bigger than just an idea in my head. And I applaud you for taking that step, taking that initiative with the accelerator programs and moving forward. And I've seen you a couple times at all these different
Yeah.
meetings, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to bring you onto the podcast. So yes.
Thank
So
you.
I
I
applaud
really
you.
appreciate it. And
You're welcome.
I had been following you before we had met at the Ward 7 meeting, and then when we met again at the other one, I was like, well, that'd be cool. I know she has a podcast, and you said it right there. He's like, you need to come on the show. I was like, sign me up. Like I love doing it, so I really appreciate it.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And I'll make sure that we connect more so I can send some things to you, even to add on the app, because I know there are some food pantries um that do things, but they don't do it every week. It may be
Okay.
once or twice a month, so but they are consistent with it, I will say. So if it's like the first of the month or every other Saturday, those type of things. So that I don't know if we'll see. I'll send it to
Say,
you.
we also have an option too. So we have a little smaller version. Even if they can't want to be on the app, we have a thing. We send out notifications. So when you download the app, we send out notifications either addressing cold weather or my
Mhm.
cousin has a warm house. We sent out notification saying, "Hey, this warm house is open on Monday. We'll be serving food from 9 to 2, and it'll send you a notification." So we can send out notifications. So even if they didn't want to be on it, we could do something where we could send out notifications for them. But at the end of the day,
Okay.
it's really about downloads. We really need people to download it, and then we can display all these wonderful things.
Things, yes, that makes sense. Now, you just said something, and I want to ask a question.
Yeah,
You
let's
said
do it.
you said your cousin have a warm house.
Yes. So
Okay.
on Mondays, and they was really doing it. She did it all last year, and I was a sponsor for it for 9 months, but it was finding volunteers. So when it got cold again, and they asked for her to open it back up again on the Mondays. And basically, they open up from 9 to 2, and volunteers come out. We serve breakfast, we serve lunch, we try to help with resumes. We try to just be a whole wraparound service. We have bus passes that we hand out sometimes. So things of that nature. So if she still does it, I think really the only reason it was kind of closing down was because of volunteers. So uh, that's definitely a connection. If she can get volunteers, we can open the doors on Mondays.
See, now look at there. Now look at there. Come here. We have a resource that is closing down because she don't have bodies to work. Come
because she
on,
don't have
volunteers.
bodies to work.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh my gosh. And is that in Oklahoma Metro?
Yes, in Oklahoma City, right off of like
Okay.
Southeast 59th. So it's right down the street from Joe's Addiction, but Joe's Addiction closes on Monday. So she was like, we need to fill the gap on Mondays because there's still a community to be served over here. So that's why
Right.
she chose Mondays. But yes, if any volunteers, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to connect you with her. So she can
Okay.
open the doors on Monday so we can continue to serve people.
I like that. Okay. Yes. Yes. We definitely need to talk.
Yeah, absolutely. It's deeper
Like
than
they
that
said,
too. Listen, we could go on for hours. It's so much more. So yeah.
I, I know. I know. Listen, your whole family has things that's connecting. Like you got a cousin doing this. You got somebody else
Everybody.
doing that. Yes, I love it. I
Yes.
love it. A family full of blessings. That's wonderful. Well, Robert, I appreciate you coming on Charity Tuesdays. Can you tell the people where they can find you or where they can get in contact with you if you're on social media? Where can they stalk you, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. So first I'll say download that app, the Shelter Share app. Please download the one that says Shelter Share app. On Instagram, you can find me with Shelter Share with me is what it says on Instagram. On Facebook, it is Shelter Share Oklahoma. So please follow us on social media. We always sharing great resources about things that people may not know about. And yeah, I really appreciate it.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Now, when they connect with you on the social media, they can find your contact information, right? If they need
Yep,
to.
yep. It'll
Okay.
have all my link tree information. So, oops, sorry about that.
Okay.
It will
That's
have
okay.
all my link tree information. So it'll give you my email. It might even, I think I still have it open where you can even still schedule a call with me right through the app and stuff like that on my link tree. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, perfect. Well, Robert, I appreciate you coming on here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys make sure you go and use this resource. Share it with your family, your friends, your network of colleagues, and let's
Absolutely.
support and make it because this is not just Oklahoma. He told you he's expanding. So it doesn't matter where you are. We can make this a global app where everyone can be able to find those resources that they need because we need it. All
We
right.
need,
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate you once again. Stay warm. I mean, well, it's been nice so far. You know how Oklahoma is, but
that's right. It'll change.
right, I am so ready for the spring. We'll leave that alone. That's a whole nother 30 minutes. We'll leave that conversation alone. Everyone, don't forget to follow me on social media at Share the Tea with V. I'm on all social channels, and thank you for tuning in to Share the Tea Tuesdays. Remember, we're being intentional, insightful, and definitely impactful in everything that we do because we share the tea. We don't
Hmm.
spill it. All right. All right. Well,
Thank
Robert,
you.
you have a good week. And until next time, guys, have a good one. Bye.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance.